Why are bees so important? The world is a huge ecosystem, and every living thing plays its part. The bee is a small insect that plays a lead role in the evolution of the planet. Bees are the great pollinators of beauty that transmute the essence of Mother Nature into the honey of everlasting life. Unfortunately, it is no secret that their position has been compromised. Bee populations are dying worldwide, and scientists are struggling to find a solution to stop it. We are going to look closely at what bees have to offer, what they mean to our survival, and how the symbols of their craftsmanship have inspired mankind for thousands of years. What do bees do? Bees do many important things. The most obvious is cross-pollination. The majority of the world's plants require cross-pollination, including 30% of food crops. Bees take the pollen from the male part of the flower and transfers it to the female parts of the flower, moving from flower to flower, collecting nectar and leaving bits of pollen on each flower as they do their delicate work. They collect the nectar so that they can feed their colonies through the winter. This is beneficial to all life on Earth. The amount of dedicated labor that bees contribute to the planet is what keeps the world an evergreen sanctuary. Health benefits of honey. Honey is not just a sweet snack. It has health benefits that give it a medicinal value. Raw honey is full of antioxidants and has antibacterial and antifungal properties. Honey has been used to treat wounds for hundreds of years. Hospitals use a medical grade honey that has been sterilized. Honey can also soothe a sore throat. It can be used as a cough suppressant, and it helps with digestion. Honey is a potent prebiotic, so it gives plenty of good stuff to the beneficial bacteria in your stomach. The number of health benefits that honey provides is enough to consider it medicine. Bees are not just an insect. They are a powerhouse of mutual well-being. Why do we need bees? By now, you may have a pretty good idea of why it is we need bees to help everyone survive on this planet. With human populations rising and the need for food expanding, having the right crops at the right time is crucial to sustaining human life and even wildlife. Our food crops are not the only thing bees help to cross-pollinate. They also have a hand in pollinating wild vegetation, nuts, seeds, berries, and fruits. Bees themselves are a food source for other insects, like dragonflies, spiders, and other creatures like over 20 species of birds that feed on bees as a food source. So now the big question, why are bees disappearing? Bees have thrived on this planet for 50 million years, and only now we are seeing populations declining. There is a phenomenon called colony collapse disorder that is causing colonies to fail. The hive will thrive through the spring. However, once the winter comes, the worker bees stop returning home to the hive. After the winter, there is not enough worker bees to take care of the queen and the young. Theories suggest that parasites and invasive pests are wiping them out. Others have found that diseases and viruses are killing bees, as well as pesticides. Automated agriculture has also caused problems with bees, disrupting the process of Mother Nature. Maybe it is all of these together that is causing such destruction. Can we live without bees? Bees are vital to cross-pollination, so what happens if they become extinct? While it is true that bees help pollinate many of our biggest crops, the plants can still pollinate themselves. Animal pollination is only vital to around 13 major crops. This means that we would survive without bees, but many crops would be more scarce, and being able to keep up with world hunger and increases in populations would be more and more difficult. Life on Earth would not be the same for humankind without bees. This is why it is so alarming that insects are becoming extinct at a much faster rate than mammals. Bees' influence on society. These little insects have had quite an impact on humans and society. Many world societies and hierarchies are modeled after the structure of bees. Honeybees symbolize many different aspects of community, productivity, death, rebirth, and even immortality. They are used as symbols and emblems of royal families, printed on the back of ancient coins, and even the executive wing of the Parliament building in New Zealand is shaped like a beehive. As far back as Egypt, bees have been recorded as a representation of political authority. The Egyptians made many of their products with honey and had many jobs in the profession of beekeeping. The honey bee creates hexagons in its honeycomb. As a form of natural geometry, they build astonishingly complex hexagram cells that comply perfectly with mathematics. How to save the bees? We know bees are important, so what is being done to ensure that they survive right along next to us? Scientists around the world are working hard to find out what is causing colony collapse disorder. The USDA has created a committee dedicated to this research. It starts by collecting data and analyzing bee samples to find pathogens, diseases, and evidence of exposure to pesticides. As humans, we need to clean up our act and realize that everything's connected. When we put out poison, it comes back to us. To quote Manly P. Hall, an ancient philosopher once said that the bee extracts honey from the pollen of the flower, while from the same source the spider extracts poison. The problem which then confronts us is, are we bees or spiders? Do we transform the experiences of life into honey, or do we change them into poison? Do they lift us, or do we eternally rebel against the pricks? Many people become soured by experience, but the wise ones take the honey and builds it into the beehive of his own spiritual nature. Thanks for watching. Until next time, this is Kindred Science.